Who can tell me what that is?
Cocaine.
Cocaine, okay? So how many of you are aware of cocaine? Okay, now, hands back down. Now, through this, I at no point am condoning the use of drugs at all, okay? Drug cartel, all right? According to Wikipedia, the cartel is a group of apparently independent producers whose goal it is to increase their collective profits by means of price fixing and basically controlling the market. That's what Wikipedia tell me, all right? Now, have I used a good source or a bad source?
Bad source.
Bad source. Why is it a bad source?
Wikipedia, you never.
Doesn't it sound good? Am I wrong? Is it wrong? So, if you look up cartel applies, and you can ask your economics teacher about this, but a cartel is specifically related to a business model, all right? We now associate the word immediately to like our Colombian brothers and Peruvian brothers, not actual brothers, I'm just, human race family and all that, all right? Why is it a bad source? Why is Wikipedia a bad source?
Anyone can access to it and edit like wrong information.
Yeah, okay? My name is Pablo, okay? I come from Colombia, it's a good place, all right? And do I look like drug cartel to you?
No.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say that's racial stereotyping, but never mind. Okay, but let's just say I buy from Colombia, Peru, or Bolivia, okay? 1 kilo of cocaine will cost me $1,500, all right? If I decide to smuggle it into Mexico, the wholesale price immediately goes up to $15,000. Not too far, okay? Can you imagine what happens if I smuggle it further?
Millions.
Okay. No, it's not as low as Big Mac, but not quite as high as that. So wholesale price will increase the further you smuggle it, all right? And just to give you an idea, if I get it to Los Angeles, it's 20G. If I get it to Chicago, 25G. New York, 35G. Italia, I make 55G. And if I go all the way down to Australia, mate, we can sell it for a whopping $140,000. And that's American dollar, just not the Australian dollar, okay? So, where did I get this information from?
Wikipedia.
Do you think I got it from Wikipedia? I think Wikipedia is that good it gives you a price list of cocaine from around the world? No. You have to investigate. This information came from a cartel accountant, all right? So, yeah. Obviously an ex-cartel accountant, all right? So he said no matter where it's sold in the world, the drug cartel that is, makes between 300 and 400% margin profit, all right? So if they spend $1, they're gonna get $3 or $4 back. So, powerful slogan. The war on drugs is very real. Where did I get that from?
CIA.
Nowhere. I just thought it sounded good. Okay? Sounds like I have your attention. A little bit of information, shocking headline, all right? Remember the format, the manner of which you are presenting this, okay? The Mexican government refused to release information on the value of what has been seized between 2006 and 2018. My source, a journalist working for the international media Deutsche Welle, okay? It's an international broadcasting company. Mexico is the third deadliest country in the world for journalists. Where did I get that? A world report from Reporters Without Borders. All right. Now, most of these sources are found within sources. I'm not digging deep. I wasn't up all night in some library, okay? The internet is a very powerful tool. You just have to ask the right things of it, okay? Nothing too vague. If you type in the word cartel, of course you get Wikipedia, all right? That's the first thing that's gonna go up there. But we don't want that. We want more specific information. Number of journalists and citizens killed in 2018 in Mexico was 9. Number of journalists, or citizen journalists killed since 1992, 47, okay? The impunity for crimes committed against journalists in Mexico is 99.2%. That means 99.2% of people that kill journalists don't get charged with it. Mexico are now using children to traffic and sell drugs. They sell the drugs locally in Mexico, but they use them to traffic them across to the US borders. As part of your report, who would you interview? If you were doing this, okay, who would you want to interview? Silhouette lighting technique, right? This is a term you'd be familiar with when you start with film, but it's the idea, and I'll show you a diagram. So you've seen it before. It's a victim, someone that does not want to give away their, obviously, identity. So the cameras and the lighting need to be set up so you don't see who they are. And it's very, very easy to do. All you have to do is take 2 lights, which we have plenty of upstairs, and shine them on the wall behind, okay? Behind the subject. And then you have a very dark room, and so you cannot see the person's face. So as part of your report, if you think that it adds like credibility to your report, use this technique, all right? Because in the next 2 weeks, I want to give you more opportunity to be using the Media Lab, all right? Another thing that we can do is maybe visit the location of the issue, all right? Wouldn't it be more credible to be there on the ground, you know, serving news to the public, having witnessed first-hand accounts of it? Right, so if you're taking a look, if it's about like forest fires or, you know, like public protests, it seems a lot better to be standing there. And we did this last semester with our education reports, where you're pretending to be in Switzerland or Iran, giving our education reports. And it's fun, okay? But it adds to your report, all right? And it's very, very easy to do, okay? You use green screen like we have upstairs and apply the chroma key effect, all right? Now I know some of you, you know, last semester we did the filming, I did the editing. It's not going to work like this time, okay? You're going to do the editing. Now I'll upload this PowerPoint on ManageBack for you. But your dedicated teacher has provided an instructional video on how to use Final Cut Pro, how to get started, okay? Yeah, okay. I said I just gave you a video. You guys, too much, all right? So this will teach you how to use some of the basic elements, getting your project started, right all the way through to exporting it, compressing it, controlling the size and quality of the video, and getting it out, okay? It's really, really easy. It's just about knowing where things are to use the functions that you want. Now, the deadline for this is the Friday the 25th of October, which gives you 2 weeks. Now, knowing the amount of assessment that you have the following week, I would definitely implore you to try and meet that deadline. However, you will not be penalized if you turn it in before the 1st of November. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that's an option for all of you, because some of you have already done a lot of groundwork, but I just want to give you a little bit of breathing space because of GVT and the national holidays we had in September. Okay, so again, just to allow you some time. So, remember, okay? Remember the task. 8 to 10 minute video, roots on the issue or background, okay? Current situation. When I say local impact, I'm not talking about South Korea. I'm talking about the impact to its local area, all right? Which is what I would prefer you to go with, all right? Now, of course, it does, like, you know, the drug cartel, it does obviously have a global impact. And so you should pay some attention to, if any, its global impact on the issue you're chosen, all right? And then solutions, either existing or just a concept. But how many of you still have in their possession the proposals? Okay, be honest. Anyway, so if you have your proposal, if you are satisfied and you've already done the groundwork, then please continue on with that. If you haven't, you can come and collect. I'm going to slyly put blank proposals here, in which case you just need to fill out 1, not 3, because we're focused here. All right? Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Harry, Essel, you're okay in team of 2? All right, we maybe talk about the length of your video since there are less of you. All right? I will talk to you later about that. Ways I recommend today dividing your roles, okay? So I already said there's roots, there's current situation, and solutions. Maybe one of each of you in your team can take one of them. I recommend Google Docs. Please don't use your cell phones. Stick with your laptops. That doesn't mean cow app on laptops. That's the same thing as using your cell phone. And definitely, absolutely not sleep for the remainder of the class. Okay?
Yeah.
Action. How's it going? Last time we talked, it was quite a broad. It was terrorism, right? Did you find a particular niche of terrorism that you put focus on? Like the most famous one? Okay.
Find terrorism and like we're gonna find terrorism in Pakistan
Alright, okay. Be careful which sources you use. Media can be, fear mongering. Remember when people write things, you gotta think, who was that for? And so try to find official reports. They tend to give just their information. Let me know if you need any help with that. Okay, fake news. How we doing?
Yeah, we split those three.
Right.
I'm not sure about the solutions. There are some vague stuff like critical thinking.
Okay, big stuff like critical thinking.
Yeah.
Explain.
Like audience should have ability to think critically, so to be able to avoid this kind of fake news.
Okay.
But I guess that's not that practical.
Well, no, maybe that could be the possible solution. Maybe we don't get enough training in that 21st century skill of being able to filter. So maybe you might have like some pro tips for the general audience. How do you know it's real? How do you know it's fake? I'm sure there are a few sources you could find that help people verify, because, with Wonderland, the rabbit hole keeps getting deeper and eventually you find the root of the source. That's why you go from Wikipedia to like actual reports from government officials. It came from somewhere, published in a newspaper, published in the next newspaper, published on a website, and then spat up on Wikipedia. So that's how you can make use. There are some steps. So that could be a possible solution, right? If the goal is to not have people believe in fake news, then how can you report it? See what I mean? Still jet lagged? Alright, but you've divided the roles, okay, so keep at it. Alright, good stuff. That's enough. Progress update. How are we doing? We've got the issue. I like the optimism.
we have to think about the solution.
Well, one of you can think. Have you already done the roots and the current climate?
We are almost done with those, so we have to think about the solution. But
What's the issue?
LGBT rights in Saudi Arabia, like their censorship is really strict, and their education-wise and discrimination is really serious. But I think it's just impossible to solve. I mean, the government control, like they regulate those kind of actions. You have to come up with a solution.
It's a relevant time. I mean, there's a liberalization going on in Saudi Arabia right now. It was only last week that BTS played a concert, and it's the first time women have been allowed in a stadium in Saudi Arabia since forever. And so, baby steps are happening. Should maybe BTS play every weekend? Maybe they should have like a residency in the city, so suddenly women can now enjoy going out on the road without the protection of males. So maybe there could be more. Maybe this little baby seed of a movement can grow into something else. So you don't always have to create the solution yourself. You could always look at other countries and what their models were. Saudi Arabia might be the last country on the planet to finally be liberating. Well, I'm sure there's a few more exceptions. Okay, good work. Make sure you divide the roles. All right. Okay. Question, Ashley.
So, do we have to film the video like a news?
No, you don't have to. It's an investigative report, so it doesn't need to be from a newsroom. It could be just as most internet investigations take place.
그것이 알고
Do like a talk show, yeah?
아니요, we do like
As long as you don't turn it into like a morning style chat show where try to still keep the formality of the content. But like I said, like you can, portray like real characters in a fictional manner. So you can have like head terrorists being, sort of interviewed or I guess, interrogated would be a better word.
how about like we read like there's like a book named like Hurricane whatever, and like we go into the we get into the story like there's a fake character. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Kind of a documentary movie in a sense. Okay, so last couple of minutes of class. Okay, let's have some volunteers. All right. Let's start with the team with the most, numerical advantage. All right, right at the back. Sean, your team. Would you like to share with the class like what issue it is that you're going to be tackling? What's the issue that your group?
So do we have to share our topic?
Just briefly, just to give the class an idea of what everyone else is doing, okay? No, stand up, feel free to stand up. You don't need to come to the front, just tell the class. What are you doing? What's the possible solution?
We investigated about the school shootings in America, and we searched for a few cases about the school shootings in America. So we figured out what is the typical causes of the school shootings, and what can be the solution of the school shootings.
Very good. All right. What are the solutions to school shootings?
So for
Possible.
universal background check and red flag laws. Yeah.
Okay, background checks. Very good. Very good. What about over here? What's the issue? Share with the class.
Our topic is honor killing.
Okay, honor killing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And it kind of relates to the women's right in Pakistan or let's say India or other places. And let's see.
Can you explain to the class a little bit about what honor killing is?
So if like a woman gets raped or wants to marry a man that the family doesn't approve of, her brother or father kills her, and that is allowed. It's a law.
Okay, so it's kind of archaic in its nature, all right? And what issues, solution?
We haven't thought of a solution.
All right. Anyone have an idea? Okay. They're looking at honor killing. What solutions would you have to kind of stop this? Any idea? Eyes on this group for a second. Give them your attention, all right? What solutions would you suggest? In India and Pakistan, okay? Women are being killed lawfully, all right? For, marrying or trying to marry a man that they don't approve of. So what solutions could you have for this? Just the first thing that pops in your head. Abolish the law, okay? How could you abolish a law? How do you abolish laws that the government aren't changing?
Maybe like United Nations
One more time, loud and proud.
maybe United Nations, they could be and to
Get the United Nations involved, okay? Any other ways of grabbing attention to change things? Joy? Protests? What kind of political protest or protest would you recommend in this manner?
Maybe non-violent.
Non-violent? I mean, I think women taking to the streets of Pakistan or India might be more problematic than opposed to like other countries like here or more liberal countries, all right? I think it might be very detrimental, wouldn't you say, if women like held a peaceful protest? I don't think already the way that this law seems, it doesn't seem like they value women's lives very much here. So what other ways? maybe international protest, other places, okay? I mean, look at, this is the point, you don't have to create your own solution. You're not here to win a Nobel Peace Prize before you graduate. I mean, you could, you know, Greta Thunberg's trying her best, but like, look at other countries and the models and the ways that they have dealt with it, because sometimes by looking at your neighbor, you can find a way of solving the problem, all right? So don't, like, if you're already at the solution part, try to find when, like you said, Jen, abolished, okay? Using that word, like, you know, like honor killing abolished. When does it happen? Where does it happen? It could have been like 400 or 500 years ago, but it must have happened at some point. So look elsewhere. They say the grass is not always greener. Sometimes when it comes to human rights, it literally is, okay? I have here a timetable, okay? Now obviously don't book yourself into yesterday, that's pointless, all right? But I need a copy of this timetable because in order for you to use the Media Lab, are you paying attention? New rules, okay? For you to use the Media Lab, if I'm not there, the proctoring teacher needs to know who's there, all right? So I'll allow just one group in each of those slots, okay? So it's really a first come, first serve what you're ready for. Of course, I can help you and assist in any way. If there's questions over production, I'll provide you with an instructional sheet on how to do use the green screen correctly and to apply chroma keying, which is the filter that turns the weather person standing in front of a map, okay? So, and look what we did in the first semester. It's really, really easy. It's literally drag and drop, all right? But I'll give you an instructional handout for that. I recommend that if you can, start getting bits and pieces together. Are you paying attention? So if you're using your own MacBook, great. You have your data stored. If you're using the Media Lab Macs, keep everything, project included, the Final Cut project, on a hard drive, all right? I mean, as a backup. Don't just rely on it staying safely in that Mac, all right? I won't delete it, I promise. And now, the doors are locked, so people can't actually go into them without me opening it for them, all right? So, or the proctor in this case, all right? So, fill this, and I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? So I'll put this on, where can I put this that is safe? Can I put this here? All right, so any day from today, I don't recommend you try and sign up to the very last day, like the 1st November. That is not a good idea, okay? The last thing I'll say is don't underestimate the time it takes to export these files. Once you start editing and adding titles, your laptop will take like 40 minutes to 1 hour. When you send it to compressor and get it compressed, it'll take about 40 minutes to an hour. The computer's up there, maybe 2 days. No, not 2 days. Not 2 days. But it can take like 2 hours. Like even a 10-minute video, depending how much production and cutting and titles you put in, it takes time. All right. Alrighty. Okay, well, I hope you got a little bit of progress. I hope, did my example help?
Yeah, helped a lot.
All right.